Today on What Went Wrong, we tell the shit talkers to go fuck themselves. Hi, I'm Brett Mauser, and I've made over 40 feature films, and in just a minute, I'm going to tell you what they are, and more. But first, I'm going to ask you to stick through this laundry list of my productions, because afterwards, I'm going to tell you what I've learned, not just about filmmaking, but about myself. And I'm going to have something to say to the backstabbers, the haters, and the people who talk shit about what I've accomplished. I'm saying it partially to confront these people, but more importantly, to give you, the filmmaker, the confidence and the reason to go and make your film right now, without waiting and without telling yourself you have to wait until you get the money or the crew or whatever it is that's stopping you from making your movie. I'm going to share with you my history and tell you why you have a great future ahead of yourself, whether your movies are shit or whether they're masterpieces. I'm not going to hit every single thing I filmed, like the school plays or all the videos I did for corporations or government agencies. Some of them, but not all of them. Otherwise, we'd be here forever. Now, it started in the early 80s when my grandfather passed away and left me an old Super 8mm camera. I made stop motion G.I. Joe shorts. Now, as with a few of these films, they've been lost to time. Like the two films I made in high school, The Adventures of James Dolan and The Adventures of John Dolan, James Bond / Indiana Jones spoofs. But then there was Inspector Pierre, where I did my first crane shot by passing the camera up to a ladder to my friend who was waiting on the roof, and then he walked it back up the rest of the way. Then my first attempt at Right Here Waiting, a love story about a man trying to solve his own murder.
A short film on Macbeth for my English class, followed by A Tale of Two Cities, another short that helped me graduate. A short I did for my acting class, Runaway.
I lost that one because I returned it to Blockbuster accidentally.
Then my first feature, Her Name, during my senior summer in 1991. And that same summer, my second feature, The Final Limit. This is Ponderous, a feature collection of short films which included Buffett Rider, a mashup of a guy driving around in a talking car and singing Jimmy Buffett songs to cheer people up. Then Macbeth 2, and during my time at San Antonio College, Tumble Nerd. And my first award-winning short, Murphy's Law, about a detective going after the mean, ugly, rabbit breakdancing, medium cheese, pepperoni, mushroom, black olive, Domino's pizza from hell. Then in 1995, the first sparkle of the Innocent Saga with my first time-traveling feature, another movie called Right Here Waiting. I moved to Colorado in 95 and made Blue Moon, an alternate reality version of Right Here Waiting. And then returned to Innocence, my first and only 16mm feature film, both of those in 97. And then the first version of Tag in 98, with Queen of Hearts the same year. Then there was a short film, Little Drummer Boy, basically a Christmas Carol with a hitman. My first vampire film, the feature Trouble. There was another attempt at a time travel feature, this time called The Innocent Killers. Denver's Crappiest Television was an 8-episode series that ran on Denver Community Television in 99. I shot and produced a film written and directed by T.J. Miller. Yes, that T.J. Miller. And then there was the day that I got bored, but there were no actors around, so I enlisted the help of my best buddy Bogey, and we made A Day in the Life of Bogey. Then when I returned to Texas, I made Too Young to Kiss in 2001, The Night Watchman, my first decent quality feature in 2003, followed by Don't Islamic Vampire Terrorists Suck, an interactive movie in which you could make decisions for the characters with your DVD remote. Then I started making music videos, 10 for Capone, a couple for South Coast, 2 for Rachel Stamp, which played on MTV2, then some Dallas artists, AITF, SKS, Breeze and Thyra, and Immortal Soldiers. Then more than 20 for Quinto Soul, which aired on Mundos. Then back to features with Last Blood, also known as Cartel Killers. I started working with Bradley Bates in 2004, and we sold our first film, Barrio Angels, followed by Shadow Dragon in 2005. I lost a bet and had to make the first Serial Rabbit. I wrote the script in one night and shot it in 5 days. Then there was the Bad Mojo Project, Dog's Life, made for $65, Tag, White and Black, then the short film The Dove, which placed in a John Woo film competition. My series War Dogs lasted for 4 seasons. It had the spin-offs War Dog News and Froggy Rants. Then in 2007, I made Second to Last Worst Day of My Life. And then After the Day, which had no script and only one location, my house. Then making a bunch of music videos that allowed me to buy a Canon XL2. They were for Cornell Cuts, Cynthia Jones, allowing her to sign a record contract. The video aired on The Word and the Gospel Networks. Then more videos for Perfect Vision, The Circle, Trey 7, and William Taylor. I was then able to shoot The Ballerina, my first film with a boom mic. We moved into the Innocent Saga in October of 2007 with The Innocent Killers, and during that year shot the 10 feature film epic that continued with Shadow Rises, Return to Innocence, Never Say Goodbye, End of the Innocents, Easy Way to Die, The Desert Rose, Right Here Waiting, Against the Wind, and Apocrypha. finishing up principal photography in October of 2008. To blow off steam, we made Serial Rabbit 3. And then came, after the day 2, The Green Conspiracy and Bass Reeves in 2009. I remade Second to Last Worst Day of My Life in 2010. Then a miniseries called Not So Sane Man's Guide to the Multiverse. I got my first DSLR and shot The Heroic Journey of the Gay Man. Then in 2011, I closed Ponderous Productions after completing the feature film VOSOT, Voiceover Sound on Tape. After returning to school for my bachelor's and master's, I worked at the Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority, where I completed dozens of videos and commercials for the agency. I returned to film in 2014 with The Strangers, Element 13, and then The Loons, before the annual blank firing pistol contest entries of Mono Maniac, The Good, the Blind, and the Maniacal, and The Maniac with the Golden Gun. After that, I made the award-winning short film The Specialists, followed soon after with a short web series called Two Cobras and a Cop, a fan film paying respect to my fandom of G.I. Joe. Since I never got to complete my film about the Beta Hunters, I wrote the novel The Beta Hunters. In 2015, I made the short The Bender, before turning it into a feature with The Benders. I made 7 shorts in a series called Sin, 7 short films about the 7 deadly sins. For the Corpus Christi 7-Day Film Festival, I made Glory Rose, We Need to Talk, and No Righteous Men, all in 1 week, and won Best Script for We Need to Talk. In early 2016, I made the Anti-Friend Speech, both a male and female version. And later that year, Blow a Kiss. In 2017, Serial Rabbit 5. In 2018, the pilot episode for a series called The Project. In 2019, Red Days. And now I'm currently in post re-editing the Innocent Saga into an episodic series. Season 4 is on Amazon as of the making of this video. And through it all, there were more music videos for artists like 21 Black and Kerosene Drifters, live band performances, government and corporate videos, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of commercials.
So that brings us up to date. And you know what? I've got a lot more films left in me. Now, I've read the reviews. Some good, some really, really bad. And they're right. I've got bad lighting, bad sound. It took me forever to understand lenses. I have a problem with plot, but I love my characters and I have some great dialogue. And the stories really are well thought out and with twists and turns and emotional roller coasters. Large audiences aren't going to become addicted to the Innocent Saga. Hell, my best friends won't even watch it. But the truth is, I feel sorry for them, for not giving it a chance, for not being able to get past the imperfections, or let's face it, some bad filmmaking, some atrocious acting. But I do feel sorry for those who won't give the saga or any of my films a chance, because there's not only a lot of heart there, but some really great moments. Some fantastic moments of drama, of action, and even some great life lessons to be learned. There are moments in the saga where I just sit back and wish that people could get over the flaws so they could experience the moments that will bring tears to their eyes and give them one of the biggest belly laughs of their lives. Those moments of perfection don't only reflect the heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears that were put into those films, but they reflect me and my life. Now, there are people who talk shit about me, who say some pretty harsh shit about my films and about me personally. And believe me, it always comes back to me. I know who you are and I know what you said. And it hurt, especially when I think those people are my friends, and especially when they stay silent while we're making the films and won't say anything at the time. People who called me friend. But here's the thing, all those harsh Netflix and IMDb reviews, all that shit talking my friends and crew have said about me over the years, yeah, early on it made me angry, pissed, livid. I felt betrayed, lied to. I felt the victim. But all that bullshit taught me to be stronger, to stop looking at myself as the victim and to look at myself and my own work. It taught me to look at my work and see where I went wrong, what I could have done better. And it's allowed me to see my flaws so that I can work on them, make changes, and not only make better films, but be a better person. You can watch my films from Inspector Pierre all the way to Red Days. And you see me getting better and better as a filmmaker, yes. But you can also see me. I'm right there in my films, my own autobiography, my life's work, my life story. You see my friends, you see us laugh, you see us have experiences. If I'd have done it the right way and I had waited to get the money or whatever it is these haters think I should have waited for, if I'd have waited, I'd have never been a cowboy, a cop, a hero, a bad guy, a thief, a time traveler. I'd have never lived in the 40s or witnessed the OK Corral with my own eyes. I've watched love happen in front of the camera and behind. I met some of my best friends and experienced some of the most passionate love stories firsthand. I've gone from a kid with an old Super 8 camera to a man with films that have been on Blockbuster shelves and Netflix instant streaming. I've met people I'd have never met without having made those films. I'd have never won those awards. Met people like Penn and Teller. I'd have never discovered places like Maynard Ghost Town. Watched one of my films in a theater owned by the son of Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. I'd have never been in a gunfight, and I'd have never charged through the Arizona desert on horseback. I'd have never staked a vampire or faced down a werewolf. I've created worlds and futures other people couldn't imagine. I've made people laugh and I've made them cry. My experiences in film have allowed me to learn about myself and to teach other people. So much so that I'm a college professor now, passing on my knowledge to others. And those people are now going off and winning film festivals, making their own films and telling their stories. There's so many other things, from playing the guitar to learning about this country's greatest heroes, so many things that I wouldn't have learned or experienced if I hadn't made those movies, good or bad. And over the years, I brought hundreds of people along for the ride. I taught them about filmmaking and friendship and honor, about heroes, about guns and swords and protecting themselves. I brought families together, met people, and inspired them to go after their dreams. Because of me, some people have become cops, saving other lives in the process. Because people met on my set, got married, and had kids, because of my films, there are people who exist who wouldn't have existed without them. I've done a lot. I've learned a lot. I've lived more lifetimes through my films, had more fun, created more memories than the average person could read about, let alone live themselves. I'm damn proud of my work. And there's no amount of shit talking, critiquing, or sabotaging that any of those haters could do that will erase what I've accomplished, what I've created. And even if they started tomorrow, they couldn't catch up to the amount of stories I've told, characters I've created, and lives I've affected. So yeah, I've made some bad films. I'm probably going to make a few more, but they're going to keep getting better and better. And look at what those films have done and how they've inspired and how they've changed lives. The people who talked shit about me 10 years ago, have you made that feature film yet? If you did, how'd it do? Did it make more money than I did? If you did, great. Of course, I'd like to know why you haven't made any more. My way, I was able to keep making movie after movie after movie. You, 10 years later, you're still waiting to be able to do it right. If I wanted to be a painter or a sculptor, would you give me shit because I made a lopsided vase the first time I tried? If you've never picked up a chisel before, do you wait until you have a block of precious, expensive marble before you try and make the statue of David? No, of course not. You practice, you work on clay and cheaper materials. When you're ready to make your movie, to do it right, if you haven't practiced on an inexpensive canvas, do you really think you're going to paint the Sistine Chapel? I've made over 40 feature films. You? None. So if each of us got $50K to make a movie, who do you think would really make the better movie? The person who made 40 cheap features with no money, or the guy who hasn't made anything, or maybe just a few short films? I think we both know the honest answer to that. So here it is. If you really want to make a movie, fucking go make a movie. Don't make excuses, because that's exactly what you're doing. Look, real talk. Are you going to let another 10 years go by? Miss your chance to influence and inspire as many people as I have? Or are you going to keep waiting until you have the money? Are you any closer today than you were 10 years ago? Look at what I've done with the help of my friends, with strangers. And there's no reason you can't do that too. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm having this series. You have it within you to make your film. So why don't you? Because if you keep waiting, you and I both know that money isn't coming. The time is never going to be right. And when you do get that $50,000 or $100,000 to make a movie, you're not going to have a fucking clue as to what to do with it. And you know what? Investors know that too, which is why you haven't gotten that money yet. So go make some movies. Gain the experience. Show people what you can do and stop waiting. And And stop talking shit about the people who do have the courage to go out there and make their dreams come true. When you do talk shit about people like me, like those of us out there who are making our films, good, bad, or ugly, whatever, it doesn't make you look big, experienced, knowledgeable. It just makes you look small.